Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a beautiful Friday or a beautiful day whenever you come across this video. I do want to say thank you very much for all your love and all your support. Thank you very much for being part of this beautiful community. And if you are not and you would like to be, definitely hit that subscribe button. Today's pick a card, I do have to say trigger warning, okay? This is one of my most highly requested videos, and it's inner child healing. And I know these videos can be very emotionally triggering for a lot of you and for many of us, including myself. So I will say, if you're like, I do not want to do the shadow work right now, and you're not wanting to go there at least today, you can definitely come back to it tomorrow or another day. But do expect things to get a little deep, or to trigger something within you, or to bring up some type of emotional turmoil. Again, remember that these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If something doesn't fit, don't force it to fit. All my information, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, how to book a reading, all of that, timestamps are always in the description box below. With that being said, let's get started with pile number 1. Remember that there is no right way of doing this. Just choose the one that you feel the most drawn to, and let's get started. Thank you very much. So pile number 1, let's see. Okay, pile number 1. What is your inner child wanting you to heal? Where is the wound, or what is the wound here? Again, trigger warning. I have to say it. Okay, I have to say it. So just giving you a heads up. So let's get started. Let's see, pile number 1. What is your childhood wound? We have mother. Okay, so what I'm getting here is there is healing that needs to be done with your mother or a mother figure, whoever that was while you were growing up, okay? Whoever took on that role. I do feel here that there is a disconnect between you and your mother, or if you were raised by a single father, then it could be there might be healing needed there with the father, okay? I'm saying mother because that's the card that came out, but it can be with anyone who took the role of a mother. For a lot of you, I feel like here there was either your mother was too smothering, okay, too controlling. For others of you, there could be abandonment issues around a mother. And for a lot of you, I do feel like this has created a sense of mistrust in females. Okay, if you are a female watching this, maybe you have a hard time making female friends because of this. If you are a male, then this might be affecting your relationships. But your inner child is wanting you to do work, shadow work, around something that happened with a mother or a caretaker when you were growing up, because there is still the sense of abandonment that you are carrying around, and it's creating kind of like a dysfunctional cycle in your life. For a lot of you, because you're afraid of being abandoned, it's like, I leave first. I prefer to leave first, disconnect, rather than me feeling like the abandoned one. So you take initiative first in leaving something behind. For others of you, you might have a very even though you do have that mother wound, you might have a very close attachment with the mother that at some point it has become toxic and unhealthy. Okay, so again, I'm getting for a lot of you, maybe you had a single parent growing up, okay? And it could be that it was your mom. And it could be that maybe your father was there, but maybe the father wasn't there, like they were absent in some way because of work, for some of you. But for others of you, it does feel like you were raised maybe by a single parent. And for others of you, your mother maybe was too controlling to the point of maybe even being emotionally manipulative. Again, trigger warning, you guys. And I feel for others of you, maybe you didn't have a mother growing up. And so for a lot of you, you don't know how to mother yourself. You don't know how to nurture yourself. And your inner child is wanting and yearning for you to heal that wound, because again, it's affecting you. And for some of you, you have no tolerance for patience. It's like patience might even be something that just even triggers something within you. It's like, I have to be patient. Like, I don't want to wait. For others of you, this wound has affected your ability to love unconditionally, because again, you didn't get that from your mother or from your caretaker. And this is affecting how you give birth to your creations, how you give birth to anything, your manifestations in life. Surrender to the magic of who you are. For a lot of you, I feel like you are always wanting to meet your mother's expectations. It's kind of this energy of, you know, a child who wants to do everything right according to the mother's eyes, but still not being good enough. That type of energy. And so your inner child wants you to heal this, because it wants to remind you that you are beautiful, that you are perfect just the way you are. Maybe in order for you to get attention from a caretaker, a mother, in this particular example, is you had to change who you were, or you had to behave a certain way in order for your mother to give you some type of recognition or even look your way. Okay? And so for a lot of you, this is something that you still keep repeating in friendships or in relationships, because you're afraid to show who you truly are. It's like you can't see the uniqueness within you. To the sea. Yeah, it's kind of like you never had that. It's kind of, see how the horse here? I'm drawn to the horse. It's kind of like this was your metaphorically speaking, like this was your parent, right? And it's like you were always there. Like you had to grow up by yourself, even though a parent was there, but it's kind of like they were invisible. Like they weren't really there for you emotionally, particularly. Pile number 1. And so you always felt like you were like this person here on this boat. Like you were just naufragando by yourself, you know, like traveling through the ocean by yourself, like navigating life and your emotional turmoil all by yourself. And so for a lot of you, it's very hard for you to be vulnerable in connections and friendships. And it's the sense because for a lot of you, you've become, it's like 2 spectrums of things here. Okay. Either you have become very independent to the point that you don't let people in. And it's like, I don't let people in, again, because I don't want to be left abandoned, or I don't want to be hurt. So I keep people at an arm's length. For others of you, you maybe become too codependent on relationships or mother archetypes in your life. Because again, you didn't have this as a child, so you're looking for this outside in other relationships or in other connections. And your inner child is wanting you to take a look at this wound, so you don't have to keep repeating these same patterns over and over again. Having faith, yeah, it's like you lack trust. You lack trust that you're going to be nourished, or that you're going to be understood, or that you're going to be accepted or validated, because you didn't have this growing up. Rejection. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you're fearing rejection because you suffered rejection as a child, and there's that wound of rejection, the wound of abandonment, pile number 1. Wow, mother yourself. And I feel like your inner child is telling you, yes, you might not have had the mother that you needed growing up, but you can now mother yourself. Now you can heal yourself. You have to learn to find home within yourself. Learn to accept yourself just for who you are, because you are good enough. You are beautiful. You are strong. You don't need to change who you are to be accepted by anybody else. Pile number 1, you guys do need a lot of inner child healing here. Doing some self-love activities, taking time for yourself, honoring yourself is really going to help you, okay? Forgiveness, yeah, for a lot of you, even forgiving a parent. Again, forgiveness doesn't mean that you accept or you're tolerating this person's behavior. It just means you are no longer allowing this wound to affect you anymore, and you're making peace with it. For some of you, maybe you can mend the situation with this parent. For others of you, you can't no more, and that's okay, as long as you make peace with it within yourself. Yeah, because it's getting in the way of your ability to manifest, to create. It's affecting your divine feminine energy within you, regardless of gender. It's not allowing you to receive. It's not allowing you to tap into your creativity, into your intuition. It's not allowing you to nourish yourself, to love yourself, to accept yourself unconditionally. It's like you're always seeking validation from people around you to fill that void. But you can fill that void by yourself. If you do the inner healing, if you do the shadow work. Yeah, home. Home is within you. That's what your inner child wants you to know. That home has always been there. And that you can heal. And you don't have to fear rejection. You don't have to fear abandonment. As long as you don't reject yourself or abandon yourself. So that is what I have for you, pile number 1. If it resonated, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you very much if you follow me on Instagram, on Patreon, or TikTok. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye. Pile number 2. Let's see. Pile number 2. What does your inner child want you to know? Okay, let's have a look here. Pioneer. We're looking at the shadow attributes. Compulsive need to keep moving. Okay. Pile number 2. What I'm getting here is you took on a lot of responsibilities as a child. I'm getting like you had a lot of ideas. I feel like you were always a very creative child. Okay, you were very gifted. I feel like you had a lot of passions. You were very smart. I feel like you had a lot of love to give. You were someone who, you know, you had a big light, and you have, okay? You have a big light. And you are very creative, and you're very innovative. But I feel like it's this sense of like you couldn't explore this as a child because you had to grow up really, really fast. Pile number 2. It's like you had so many responsibilities. You had to take care of everyone. It's this energy of like you had to be the adult. Some way, some form, either because your parents weren't there and they were working, and so you had to take care of siblings, or because, something happened that there was something here that happened that you had to grow up really, really fast. It could be that you were a teen mom, or there's this sense, or like a relocation or a detachment from parents. There's something here that happened that you grew up really, really fast. Okay, you had to kind of become responsible for yourself and maybe others around you. I'm getting this heavy energy around kind of being the parent. You probably are the oldest in your family. You don't have to be, but I feel like you have this innate sense of responsibility. And because of this, it's like you couldn't explore your creative side. You couldn't explore your passions. So I feel like for many of you, pile number 2, even till this day, you might even be trying to figure out who you are and what you like. Or maybe you figured this out really late in life, depending, again, because I have people of all ages watching this video. But for some of you, it's like you're barely figuring this out, or you're on your way of figuring it out. For others of you, you figured it out late in your life. There was always something that needed to be done, and it needed to be done by you. And so I feel here, I'm getting this energy of a lot of stress, not having time for self. And I feel like your inner child is saying, we know you can handle a lot. And under the circumstances at that time that this happened, you needed to take care of things. But your inner child is saying, you don't have to do that anymore, because I feel like this is still affecting you. It's like you go out of your way to please other people. I'm getting this energy of like, you don't even stop to rest for some of you. You're always on the go. You're always doing something. It's like you accomplish something, but it's like, okay, what other mountain can I climb? What else can I accomplish? It's like this need to be doing something constantly. For others of you, this is the only way you got praised when you were a child, or when you were young. When you fixed problems, when you dealt with other people's things, when you carried other people's load. And this is something you learned throughout the years. And I feel like for many of you still do this. You still carry on responsibilities that are not yours. You still put yourself last. You even have ideas, passions, creative projects that you want to do, but you don't allow yourself to explore them. And your inner child is saying, allow yourself to explore them. It can be simple things like finger painting. It can be simple things like playing an instrument, dancing, walking barefoot on the grass. But it's like this compulsion. It's like this thing of like, you even feel guilty, pile number 2, for resting. It's like in your eyes, resting is a waste of time. You see resting as like, I'm not being productive. And so if I'm not being productive, then that must mean I'm lazy, or that must mean, I'm not good enough. It's like I need to be doing something to prove something, to prove that I'm good enough, to prove that I'm worthy of something. And so you work really, really hard to compensate for that void within you that you had as a child. This is very specific, but I'm getting someone's dad was an engineer, or a parent was an engineer, something like this. Yeah, and this has created like a limiting belief about yourself. Maybe to this point you tell yourself, I'm not creative. I'm not innovative. I'm not a trailblazer. What are you talking about? But you are. This is an outdated belief. You have to let it go because it's limiting you. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from your past, from your childhood in this particular instance. For a lot of you, you didn't have the time to explore your power or to even know who you are or what you like. And this has prevented you from soaring in life. Again, because you have become that person that is responsible for everyone else. You don't allow people to help you, but you want to help everyone else. It's like, no, I'm okay. I don't need help. Thank you. But yet you want to help everyone else, even though you're tired, even though, you have other things you want to do, but it's like you want to accommodate others. You're people pleasing. You don't allow yourself to breathe. Your inner child wants you to be open to accepting help. Your inner child is like, just let go. Let go. Allow other people to help you. Allow yourself to have some free time to breathe, to relax, to de-stress. For a lot of you might have grown up with a grandmother. And I'm getting this energy of like a grandmother maybe was elderly. And so as you started growing up, you took a lot of the responsibility. Because you saw that this grandmother or this caretaker couldn't physically do a lot. So you took on that role for them. And so now it's become this compulsive need to help and to assist, but at the cost of your own health. And it's hard to let this go. It's hard to let this compulsion go. It's hard to let the control go. And Spirit is saying, this creates obstacles, resistance for Spirit to even help you with the things that you want, because you're not open to receiving. You're not allowing Spirit to help you. You have to tap into this wild side of yourself. Let that responsible side of yourself go for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Not forever. We have responsibilities, but you also need to go and do something for yourself. You need to live a little. Allow things to unfold the way that they need to unfold, because this has become obsessive with the 15 being the devil there. You need to explore your passions a little bit more. Your interest. What lights you up? Your inner child is saying it's not all about work. It's not all about responsibilities. You also need to have fun. You also need to let your hair down, put your dancing shoes on, go out, enjoy yourself, do something for yourself, breathe. Because there's that void. It creates a resentment. That's what it does. It creates resentment. And it also affects your creativity. You need to take a moment to pause, to meditate. You need physical movement, whether that is taking a short trip, but you need to change your vibration. You need to raise your vibration. Because right now, it's like stagnant. It's stagnant. And your inner child is letting you know, do something fun. Maybe go on a hot air balloon. I don't know. I know right now we're in lockdown. So, I mean, it's not the time to be going out and like doing a lot of things. But maybe do something fun. Maybe you've always wanted to go on a hot air balloon. I don't know. But you need to elevate your vibration. You need to get out of the routine. That's what it is. Because I feel like when you were young, it's like you had this set routine. Like things needed to be done at a certain time. Or if you had obligations, it's like, I had to pick up my little brother, I had to pick up my little sister, and I had to bring them home, and I had to kind of feed them, and then I had to do laundry. It's kind of like you took on that role. Yes, you need joy. Pile number 2, your inner child wants joy, whatever that looks like and whatever that is for you. But you need to let loose, have fun, connect with the goodness within you, and know that you don't always need to be doing something for someone in order for you to be looked at as a good person. For a lot of you, you also associate receiving help as weakness. This could be something that a parent taught you. And your inner child is saying no. Having boundaries for yourself is also good. And having some joy will create a lot of goodness within you. It will change your vibration. It will create things to move a lot faster for you. Your manifestations, your goals. It will just accelerate things for you. But have more fun. Get out of the routine. Get out of the routine. This is reminding me of someone who works and then takes care of the children and then goes to bed. And it's the same thing. The same thing every day. Same thing every day. Just, same story, different day. And your inner child is craving for passion, is craving for joy, is craving for excitement. So give it some joy. Give your inner child some joy. So that is what I have for pile number 2. If it resonated, hit that like button, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. Thank you very much for all of you who are part of my Patreon family. Thank you very much if you follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok. I will catch you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Pile number 3. Let's see. What does your inner child want to tell you? Child magical. Okay. Your inner child wants you to notice just how unique and magical you are. You have so much potential. So much potential. But I feel here there was a lot of drama in your life growing up. I don't know what it was. It's going to be different for every single one of you. But there was a lot of drama. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's like you sometimes, you don't like the drama, but somehow you always find yourself in it. Is what I'm getting here. For others of you, I feel here as well. This energy of not wanting to explore. Not wanting to explore. Very interesting. Hold on. Surrender to drama. Yeah, I feel like your inner child is wanting you to detach from drama. Your inner child is saying not everything needs to be resolved with a tantrum. Not everything needs to be resolved with drama. We don't always need to be engaged with drama. I feel like you get very emotionally charged with things. And it's hard for you to remain calm. It's hard for you to not get involved in the drama. And your inner child is wanting you to disengage from the drama. To not allow your emotions to get the best of you. Because I feel like pile number 3, you sometimes might even have a certain reaction. And at the time, because you're so emotionally charged with something. And then you look back and you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I was being dramatic, or I was being, I overreacted. I shouldn't have done that. And for a lot of you, I feel like you might have seen this pattern growing up. For a lot of you, I feel like you couldn't express your emotions growing up. It's kind of this energy like you just bottled it inside. You bottled it inside. And it's like now, every time you get triggered emotionally, it's like you have this outburst. It's like as a child, I couldn't say nothing. But now as an adult, I could. And watch me say it. Yeah, and this has been like a long cycle for you. And your inner child is saying, if we were to bring this into balance, things would get resolved a lot quicker. Your inner child is saying not everything requires an emotional reaction from you. It's like your inner child is like wanting to connect with you. And it's doing this through emotional outburst. Again, and these are things that you co-create. These are, again, it's like you don't want drama, but at the same time, you always find yourself in this situation over and over again. We have selling out. And victim consciousness. For a lot of you, again, trigger warning, for a lot of you, sometimes you do play the martyr card. And your inner child is saying, yes, when you were a child, it was valid. Because you had absolutely no control of it. But your inner child is saying you're not that child anymore. You're not a victim of the systems in place anymore. You can change the narrative at any given time. You are constantly co-creating with spirit. You don't need to sell yourself short here. Don't give your power away. The only reason why you feel like a victim in the systems that are in place is because you are allowing them to play that role. And I feel like this has become a cycle where it's like a lot of pessimism. Yeah, and your inner child is wanting you to disconnect from this. Your inner child is like, we need a break. We need some time off. Again, to disconnect from the drama. Whenever you're feeling emotionally charged, your inner child is saying, take a step back. Take a step back, because if you don't engage in the drama cannot continue. It cannot. because you're cutting it. You're nipping it in the butt. You're not. You know, you're not engaging in it. Therefore, how can it continue? Yeah, your inner child is saying all is well. There is peace. There is peace here. There will be healing. You don't need to be engaged in this emotional situations. Not anymore. You know, when you were younger, you did not have any other option. You were a minor at that, right? Yeah. It's like you bound yourself. And it could also be, I'm picking up, that you create these scenarios in your head. Your inner child is saying all things are well, but you create these scenarios in your head that make you feel like you are a victim of things, that make you feel bound. But your inner child is saying choose peace, because what you think is what comes about, is what will manifest for you. Remember, your inner child is saying you are co-creating. So if you're focusing on drama, if you're focusing on feeling like a victim of the systems that are in place, then this is what you will manifest. Instead, co-create peace, co-create healing. That doesn't mean avoid what you went through. That doesn't mean deny what you went through. Feel your emotions, but let them flow. Do not become attached to them. Yeah, because it's like you always find yourself in this storm. But your inner child wants you to know. It's like when something happens. It's like when a storm happens, or when, like, say a tower moment happens, okay? Or a 10 of swords moment happens. It's like you spiral down. You spiral into this victim consciousness. And you get swept up by the drama. And then you feel bound. But your inner child is saying, you know that after a storm comes peace. After the storm comes the rainbow. So during these times when these storms come up, and again, all of this could be an internal process. Okay, this doesn't even have to be drama with other people. This can be scenes and feelings and thoughts that you are going through internally, that you're processing all of this internally. When this happens, take some time off, connect with self, connect with your inner child, and remind your inner child that after every storm, there is peace. Right? Just how the sun comes up every morning and it goes down every evening, so do the storms. They just are passing by. They're not eternal. They're not here to stay. They're just passing by. Because I feel like you sometimes get so lost in the eye of the storm that, again, you start coming up with scenarios in your mind. You start feeling like a victim. You start feeling like you can't get out of a situation, and then you start feeling tied and bound. And what this is doing, it's affecting your energy. It's affecting your vision. It's affecting your perspective. It's affecting your emotions. And it's draining you. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. And again, your inner child is saying you're not that child anymore. You can change the narrative now. Engaging in drama is a choice. You're not a victim of the systems in place. You can detach at any time. You can remind yourself again that after the storm comes the rainbow. Peace follows. So that is what I have for you, pile number 3. I hope that it resonated. If it did, hit that like button, subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. And thank you very much to all of you who follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And thank you to all of you who are part of my Patreon. Take care of yourselves. Bye.